Alrighty, let's talk about preparation. Meaning, what is it that you need to do to get ready to jump right in so that you feel comfortable on day one? How's that sound? All right. Remember, this is a program for a year. You have access to everything for a year. So if you miss a day on the front end, it's not the end of the world. No one's got a timer on you for the first 30 days, but you want to be as accurate as you can over the 30 days. So let's talk about preparation. So I'm going to share a little screen here with you, and let's do it. All righty. So getting ready for an awesome 30 days. So what does that mean? What do you need to be doing? So let's assume that you were on the site yesterday and you thought, wow, this sounds intriguing. I want to jump in and do this. Now today, you're ready to get going, but you don't know what to do. Not a problem. Let's go over it. So on day one, this is not counting as your day 1 through 4 cleansing. So we're just saying it's the first day you're preparing yourself to do a 30-day process. Okay? So on day 1, what you're going to start by doing is cleaning out your kitchen, cleaning out your home, creating a space that is peaceful, making a bedroom that is your haven. Does that make sense? You need a space that's yours, that's free of clutter, that's free of chaos, it's free of noise. You need that to reduce stress and to be healthy. All right, so the first part of this whole thing is to cleanse your life. Get rid of some of that stuff that may be a little chaotic. Okie doke? So cleanse it out. Number 2, excuse me, you want to get rid of temptation. And I am not kidding when I say you need to go in with a garbage bag and throw out your sugar-filled foods. And this is kind of hard to do. This is hard to do for a lot of people. And I wouldn't recommend just throwing them in the trash. I'd recommend donating them to somebody or giving them to a friend. You know, personally, I think a lot of this stuff should just go in the trash anyway, but I hate to see people throw things away. So that's up to you what you do with it. But I do want you to show up with this garbage bag in your kitchen and start collecting your white bread, your white pastas, your ice creams, alcohol. Now, this is an interesting one. You can choose to dispose of it, or you can choose to put it aside for the rest of the month. There's no alcohol for the whole month, okay? Granola bars, for instance, processed foods. These are just examples, by the way. This list could go on and on and on. But for the most part, you're getting rid of a lot of stuff. Okie doke? Next, you're going to start a cleanse. So what does that mean? Well, we are going to be reformatting your gut bacteria. We are going to be removing the crud, bacteria that is not optimal, and replacing it with healthy bacteria. Sound good? We are going to be using doTERRA's PB Assist and GX Assist products because they're excellent. They're well made. And in fact, I think their PB Assist is one of the coolest looking supplement capsules I've ever seen. When you open the bottle, you'll see what I mean. It's just a neat looking product. But either way, it's a fantastic optimal bacteria. The reason we do this is it's now going to allow you to alter your brain chemistry by allowing you to change the production of neurotransmitters to an optimal level. Pretty cool, because that then helps to reset metabolism. It helps for you to feel more peaceful. And frankly, it really is the basis for everything else we're doing in this program. Truly. Resetting neurotransmitter function is absolutely critical. Okie doke? All right, let's move on. So you've now prepared yourself. You've cleaned your house. You got ready to start a cleanse. If you did not have some of the supplements that we've suggested, please connect with me and I'm happy to help you. In fact, I'll give you a free consultation for you to be able to find the products through doTERRA by getting your own account. In fact, you'll get your own wholesale account the same way I do. You just buy it directly from the company. So that'll save you a bunch of money. So I'm happy to help you with that. All right, so now we're going to roll into day one. This is the actual day 1 through 30. Okay, so there's a 30-day block of time that we're talking about, broken into 3 phases. 10-day phase, 10-day phase, 10-day phase. You see how I do the math? 30 days broken into 3. It's crazy how smart I am. But what we're talking about right now is somewhat of an intense cleanse change. What you need to do is decide, are you willing to jump in and do the bone broth cleanse, or would you rather do a high fiber diet and a smoothie cleanse throughout the first 21 days? Does that make sense? Day 1 through 4 is specific to the bone broth cleanse. In those 4 days, you will be eating nothing but your bone broth and the high fiber herbs and vegetables that are in the broth. That's it. Okay, so that's day 1 through 4, and all that information is right here in the Bone Broth Diet book. Or, let's say you chose not to do the bone broth diet, or you did start the bone broth diet, but you got to day 2 and said, oh my gosh, I'm starving. I don't think I can do this anymore, or I'm getting really bad headaches, or I'm really tired, which, by the way, are side effects for some people of this, because remember, you're forcing your body to make a tough transition. And it is normal, and you're not going to die from it, but it's one of those things where it's teaching your body to reset. So let's say you got to day 2 of the bone broth cleanse, and then you said, oh my gosh, I just can't do this anymore. It's okay. We're now going to shift you off the bone broth cleanse, and now you're going to start the high fiber diet and the cleansing smoothie cleanse. And that's a combination, which means during those 6 meals a day with the high fiber diet, 6 meals a day, 3 of those at least are cleansing smoothies. And then all the information's in each of these books. Okie doke. It tells you the foods you should eat, the foods you cannot eat. It talks about the calorie component. So let's go over that real quick. Part of this program is to teach the body that it's getting enough food and we do not need to give it excess. So for women, on average, and once again, this is a range, but for women on average, you're going to come into this knowing that you're going to be eating somewhere around 1,300 calories a day. Okay, so about 1,300 a day. Men are going to be around 1,500 a day. Now, that's a range, meaning that 1,300 for women, it's possible that your body needs 1,400 or 1,200, or frankly, that you could survive on 1,100 very easily. See how we're all different? So just so you know, the high end for women should be 1,300, preferably, and men should be 1,500. Now, that's not going to affect anything on the bone broth cleanse for the first 4 days, because you're not getting a whole lot of anything other than nutrients, minerals, and vitamins, which is all your body needs, really. So the high fiber diet, as you choose your foods, just recognize that there's a calorie component. For instance, if you chose to use one of the smoothies, 3 smoothies a day, that some of the recipes in here will include smoothies that might have 350 calories in them. That's totally fine, but what does that leave you for your other 2 smoothies and the rest of your 3 meals? Around 1,000 calories, correct? If you're a female. So remember, choose the smoothies appropriately to offset the high fiber diet. These aren't meant to be meal replacement unless you choose it to be. These are usually going to be your 3 snacks throughout the day, but you certainly can make them as your meal. So you do your own math and figure out how you want to do that, but it's going to be around 1,300 for women or 1,500 for men. Okay? So just to restate, if you do the high fiber diet and the cleansing smoothies from day 1, great. You're going to do those from day 1 till day 21. And you're not changing up a darn thing. From day 1 to 21, that is all you're consuming, this right here. You're going to read these as though it were a Bible or the Quran or something important to you, okay? If you're jumping into the bone broth cleanse, you're only doing it for 4 days. You can continue to add the bone broth into your diet as a replacement for the smoothies. So then you're doing the fiber diet for your 3 main meals and adding the bone broth for your other 3 cleansing meals. Total choice up to you. That's a harder plan to follow. It requires more oomph and more stick-to-itness, but it pushes your results much faster. So you will push yourself a little harder, but it's like getting in a Porsche down the freeway. You're going to go Mach 10 and accomplish results more quickly, right? But everyone will accomplish the same in the end. It's just this one will be a little bit faster. It's the major difference. All righty. So once again, preparation is critical. Your healthy eating plan is critical to your overall success in this. So why do we put a whole pile of effort into all these different books and more coming out? And literally there's about 1 a week that's going to be coming out. The reason is, I bet you anything, you had no idea what the heck these are or how nutritious they are. Or for instance, how much fiber is in a blackberry versus a cherry, or a blackberry versus a raspberry, right? So the key is to become quite educated on what you must be putting in your cart and what you absolutely cannot put in your cart while at the store. Because I've heard a lot of jokes like this, all good intentions end at the back end of the aisle while you're holding onto your shopping cart, right? That back end of the aisle, well, no one can see you, and you're like, oh my gosh, look at all those killer Doritos. I know I need 1 pack, right? So you got all these great intentions, you push your cart through, you shopped at the outside, you made all these good choices, and you bought the good healthy stuff. And all of a sudden you found yourself in the middle of the store in the back row looking at the Doritos bag, right? We've all been there. So the reality is, what do you put in? What do you not? How many seeds, for instance, are you familiar with? Do you know what the benefits of chia seeds versus flax seeds versus Brazil nuts, right? So these are critical things. You're going to want to go through and educate yourself so that when you get there, you're not tempted to fill it with really crummy junk. It's just the way it goes. Now, so remember, we're still talking about preparation phase. So let's assume you're on day 1. This is ultimate honesty time for yourself. This is not the time to pretend you're playing solitaire on your computer, and when you don't get the card you want, you go back and you tell it to go back and get you a new card. It's like cheating on yourself. Like, what the heck? You're playing yourself and cheating. It's kind of silly. So in this instance, it's complete integrity and honesty to you, right? So you're going to jump in, and this becomes your daily Bible, your daily special little book. I want you to be honest with what you feel in your day. You're going to record your ups and downs. You're going to put in there things that you are frustrated with, things about the plan that may not make sense to you, things about your spouse, your kids, a friend, a brother-in-law, your partner, right? Put something in there that is specific to that day that's either dragging you down or lifting you up. But after you write that, as soon as you've written that negativity, right, those frustrating things, I want you to stop, go to the next line, and now focus on things you're grateful for. Gratitude is critical because we're retraining the brain to get pleasure out of joy, out of gratitude. Okay, so it's critical to put both your negatives and then, as they say, sandwich it with a positive. Okie doke. Next is you have got to believe in yourself. This is your year, 2017. Let's crush this year. This is your time to say, you know what? I am tired of something, whatever it is about you that you do not like. It's like Michael Jackson used to say, the man in the mirror. We have to love the man in the mirror. Of course, woman in the mirror too, if you're female, right? But you have to love the man in the mirror. This is the year to do it. Let's crush it. Let's make it a killer year. And then finally, take those dreams, those ambitions, those commitments that you've had to yourself for however length of time, and write them down. Put them in your success journal. As soon as you write them down, they become your goals. An unwritten dream is just a dream. Anytime you take that dream and write it down, it becomes a goal. And once that's a goal, never forget, it's always day 1. It doesn't matter if you couldn't do a push-up yesterday. Today is a new day. Go for it. Maybe you can't do it today. Okie dokie, because tomorrow it's day one. There you go. So that's what this is all about. It's remembering that you can accomplish more than maybe someone else ever thought of you. What if somebody never gave you much in terms of love, that you were worth a ton? Now it's your turn to make that a reality. Dig deep, find out what that goal is, write them down, and stay committed to them. Okie doke. And do not beat yourself up when you fail. We're all going to go up and down a little bit. All right? Share it with others. Get on the Spartan community. Get on that private Facebook page. If you happen to be at a basketball game and you eat some ice cream, you're like, oh, crud, I couldn't resist. I had some ice cream. It's okay. Get on the Facebook page and share with people and say, you know what? Dang it. I failed last night. I had some ice cream, but it sure was good and the game was awesome. That's life. You know, it's not going to kill your neurotransmitter production. You're still going to accomplish it. So that being said, remember, it's day one and let's kill it. So there you go. There's your preparation for getting ready for your first 30 days of awesomeness. All righty? So that's mine. That's what I got for you. And I guess at this point, I'm just going to say bye-bye. But I absolutely love this. So I'm sure appreciative of everyone who jumps on and watches these things and the opportunity to provide education and help. Because when you see somebody make changes in their life that mean the world to them, wow, there's no greater feeling. It's incredible. So thank you. And I mean that. So enjoy. There you go. You're ready. You're prepared. Jump into day one and rock and roll.